I'll give you guys the start of my story quick so you'll understand, is that whoever's new here, because I know some people of you guys know a little bit, but I'm going to go in detail a little bit of, I had severe depression. So when I was little, as long as I can remember, I think 7, 8, 9, you know, when you start to have more memories, I never felt happy. Ever. I would wake up, like, I don't even have many happy memories. If I think about it, most of my memories were filled with self-conscious, comparing myself to others, angry or unhappy. And I didn't have anxiety. I know some people do have anxiety. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I had severe depression. Okay. And this is from young, to the point that when I was just turned 13 years old, I tried to commit suicide at 13. Okay. I woke up. I took pills. I didn't know what to do. And then I woke up. I just didn't want to live. 13. I've only been here on this earth for 13 years. And this is what I felt. And then I kind of just got through it. I didn't know about mental health. My parents didn't even know I tried. I didn't know all that stuff. And it was just like, I remember grabbing a pillow and biting on the pillow and I was an overthinker. So I was so filled with emotions in my head all the time. And I didn't know how to get rid of them, because it was just like really bad, negative thoughts, continuously negative thoughts. And then I dated someone when I was 17, and at 18 years old, I found out that like he had like 5 other girlfriends, this whole thing. And then I went to the doctor and they told me, you have one working ovary, so you may never have kids, because you have one ovary that is not working very well and one that's like struggling, and you have a blood disease that will affect your kidneys. So you're going to eventually need a kidney transplant or dialysis or something. We don't know when. It's a hit or miss. You have high blood pressure. We don't know what's happening. This I found out around 16. So I was already feeling depression. And then I started getting really into, and I have reasons also, not just the depression wise, is that I was a very over dramatic, over expressive kid. Now I call it over expressive. Okay. But back then my parents called me over drama queen, drama. Oh my God, so much drama. You're too expressive, quiet, always shushing me. I was very like, and then so I had a father who was drugs and alcohol and all that. My parents split up, which actually wasn't that bad for me, to be honest. It didn't weigh heavy on me. It was the weighing heavy was the alcoholic father. I have a lot of stories behind it that I'm not going to get into the stories. I'm going to get into the feelings. Okay. So at 18 years old, I tried to commit suicide again. And I remember something like I was lying in bed. I had taken a bunch of pills and I said, oh my God, I don't want to die. I don't know what it was. It was just like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. No, it's not my time. It was like this overwhelming feeling in my body that that's not the time. Even though I took the full bottle and everything, I went, this is not my time. I don't want to die. So I ran upstairs and I looked at my stepfather, and all I kept repeating is, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And he's like, what do you mean you don't want to die? I'm like, I don't want to die. I just kept saying that. And he was like, what happened? And I'm like, so he runs downstairs. He sees my pill bottle. He sees everything, calls the ambulance. They pump my stomach, hospital. It was weird. It was like an overwhelming feeling because I wanted to die. But then I don't know what it was. I didn't want to die. But the week after, so I went, by the way, if ever back in those days, they would take you to you're not allowed to leave the hospital unless you see a psychiatrist. So they gave me medication. I was on medication for a year, but a week after the suicide attempt, I didn't speak for 1 week, not a word, not one word. And I feel the only thing I feel bad for is my sister. I'm not going to get into that because I might cry on that part. I feel really bad because she had to see this and she loved me very much and she had to witness all that. But I didn't speak for a week. I was just in this complete state of, The psychiatrist didn't tell me anything, didn't know what to do, just said, here's some pills. But you know how it takes like 3 weeks for the pills to kick in? So I didn't talk for the first week. Second week, I kind of got out of it. And the pills at that time helped me. And this is why I just made a video now talking about depression and anxiety and the stigma against medication. For me, I don't take medication now, but he said, you'll be too important to others. Thanks for bringing here. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't understand what you meant. So anyway, I took all the medication. I was okay for the year, kind of very down, very drowsy, very like, maybe I was embarrassed. I actually wasn't embarrassed. I was more, my mom was embarrassed, believe it or not, because back then, I know it's still stigma now, whatever, but back then I was not embarrassed. I just was like, why did I not want to live? I should have just not lived. Like I was still in the state of mind. So that's why I didn't talk to anybody. I just stood there and I didn't want to even say anything. Nobody knew. So my friends didn't know. Nobody knew about it. Fast forward, I still had depression. A year later, I was for a year on medication. I was on Prozac. And a year later, I was like, I don't want to take these pills anymore. I don't need them. I got off the pills, fell back into my depression state. So think about this, guys. 7 years old, 8 years old, not feeling good, 10, 12, 13, suicide. My brain is depression. My brain is like, that's the brain. And there's a neural network in my brain that goes into depression. And because it stems from so long ago. So if anybody is feeling this and they're feeling this with anxiety. So I have clients, I've had friends who had the same similar situation, but concerning anxiety, meaning as long as they can remember when they were little, they were stressed. They were stressed. Oh my God, my exams. Oh my God, my stress about this. What am I going to do? I got to keep my mind busy. It's like anxiety. So it's feeling that same emotion, okay, but anxiety. So here I am going through this. And I just remember I got the kidney. I don't know. It's a very big blur because at one point I got pregnant at 23 and my kidneys stopped working. And I don't remember much during that time because when you go through kidney failure, you start going blind and you forget everything. Because kidneys filter your blood. So my blood wasn't filtering to my brain and I'm pregnant. And so I had to get a kidney transplant the year after my daughter was born. My daughter was born very pre-me. They had to get her out. I almost died, a whole other story. But through that, now I didn't have depression anymore. You know why? Because I had a reason. My daughter needs me. But this was the reason. It was no longer, I was not the reason to be alive. My daughter was the reason for me to be alive. She needs me now. I can't even think about depression because I now need to take care of this little baby. I'm going to be alive. And even though I almost died through the kidneys thing and the transplant and everything, the kidney didn't kick in at first. My mom donated her kidney, for those who don't know. So even though all this, getting into this story, I didn't want to die anymore because of my daughter, not because of me. I didn't matter. Me? Who cares about me? I can't die because now I have to take care. Now I have a chance to be like, this is the reason I'm here. Now, I have a feeling that the universe or whoever's religious, you can call him God, you can call him Allah, you can call him whatever. I call the universe, okay? The universe, something gave me my daughter, or my daughter was like, hey, wait a minute, you need to be alive. I'm going to give you a reason because you need to stop trying to think about dying. I'm going to give you a reason. And after my daughter was born, I stopped thinking about dying. I didn't want to die anymore because that was my reason. But I realized as she got older that if my daughter, something happened to her, I wouldn't live. I wouldn't be alive. I wouldn't want to live. And I went, wait a minute. Why is my life not important anymore? And I started realizing that I hated myself. I said, frig, man, I hate myself. I really hate myself physically, emotionally, mentally. I don't like anything about me. And people are, oh, you're so pretty. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. If I was someone else, I wouldn't be my type. That's what I used to say to people. I hated the way I talked. I hated the way I spoke. I hated everything. I remember I'm like, oh my God, I'm too loud. My voice is too nasally. Like everything about me, I hated like to my core. If I could be a different person, totally. Can you switch like bodies and mind? Like then I would look at people, I admired them. And then I realized how much I hated myself is when, let's say, so I was a hairdresser when I was young. I was a hairdresser from 16 years old. I started doing hair 16, 17, 18. And I remember I would cut the hair and I would drop my scissors. I just dropped the scissors on the floor. And then, or I'd cut myself. Guys, I have scars from that I would cut myself while, you know what I would say to myself? What a fucking idiot. Are you such a fucking idiot? You can't even hold the scissors in your hands. And now you have to go wash the fucking scissors because you have to disinfect them. You're not going to put them back in the hair. Like the negative shit that was in my head all day, every day, guys. All day, every day. And I attract these guys, and I had these fucking toxic. And the men would be really nice. And then the next men would be like, you're a fucking idiot. And I'd believe it because I used to call myself a fucking idiot. Like I really physically, I tried to do yo-yo dieting. Oh my God, the yo-yo dieting. Guys, yo-yo dieting so much because I hate myself. And now I got to love myself now. And now I got to hate myself. Now I'm on a diet. I'm going to do well. What diet can I do this time? Like everything physically and emotionally I hated. Now that you guys know my past, okay? And there's more, guys. And for those who know me and follow me, you guys know there's a lot more to my story. A lot. Abuse, everything, okay? I wake up every day so happy now. Like, so happy. I wake up and I'm like, is this my life? I love my life. Like, that's how I wake up. And what happened to me, and this is possible without medication. Now, for those, I have clients or friends that do it with medication, which is amazing because I actually think medication works for a lot of people. So I'm not an anti-medication person. I think whatever works for you is what works for you. But I wake up every day with love in my heart, like beyond, like to the point, the video that I made, I love you. And I said, I love you. I truly love you guys. And I know, it's funny. I'll tell you guys something. I used to have friends that would come up to me and go, the friends that go, love you. You know those friends? I'm sure you have a couple of friends that tell you they love you. They come up to you and they're like, oh my God, I love you. And you're like, do you know I could never say it back? I'm like, hey, love. I would LUV. I could not say I love you. I could say I love you to my daughter. I could say I love you to like my mom, my dad. Love you. Like I could say that. But to say it to my friend, I'm like, yeah, I love you, but like LUV, like love ya, hey. And they would be like, and then I had that friend who would hug me and I'd be like, So I realized I could not say it back to anybody because I realized that I could love, like I hated myself and I love my daughter. So that saying, you cannot love another if you don't love yourself? Bullshit, guys. Total bullshit. You can totally, I love my daughter. Oh my God, my dog and my cat, I love them, but I hated myself. I loved my daughter. I would hold her. I'm like, oh my God, I love her so much. I hated myself. What I think is you cannot love strangers if you don't love yourself. You can't love a stranger if you don't love yourself. If you're super awkward and you look at the stranger, you're like, if you don't have full love for yourself, because now I know it sounds weird, guys. I want to say I love you to more people, but they respond badly. Yes, Mel, well, that was me, okay? I was the person that responded badly, okay? And I realized is that I couldn't respond because it made me uncomfortable. Because how the fuck can I love you? Like, I don't even know you very well. Like, how? And I realized you guys, and I know some of you, Kathy, like, some of you guys I don't know as much, and some of you guys come on live and just write here comments. I know some people just watch and they're not much writers, and I know who you are. I recognize you, and I freaking love you too. And now I realize is I freaking love you, like to the point that if I say it too much, I'm gonna start to cry. Okay, I'm totally love you guys. You don't even know. And I realized that it's because I found it in me. And what happened is, I'll tell you the exact story. I was cutting hair. I dropped the pair of scissors and I called myself a fucking idiot. What are you, a fucking idiot? You can't even fucking hold scissors? And then my brain, listen to this. My brain goes, whoa. I swear, I feel like there was Tanya, you fucking idiot, when you can't even hold scissors. And then maybe that's the same Tanya that said, I don't want to die. Remember the one who said, while I was trying to commit suicide, I don't want to die. There's a Tanya in me. I feel like it was my soul who said, whoa, simmer down. You're not a fucking idiot. Calm down. You dropped a pair of scissors. Like, let's all calm the frick down right now. You're not a fucking idiot. And then I went, are you crazy? Yes, I am. I'm fucking bonkers. I am. And I love it. Watch this. So I'm sitting here going, wait a minute. Okay, you're right. You're right. Whoever just said you're not crazy, you're right. I am a little bit exaggerating on my... So I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Fuck. So I go, what do I do? So I call my mom. I start to cry. And I said, oh my God, I hate myself, Mom. You remember how they say the 12 steps, the first step is awareness? I said, oh my God, Mom, I hate myself. I really don't like myself. No fucking wonder that I get guys who are toxic because I hate myself. And even my friends were mean to me. My friends are always trying to change me. And they were always calling me neat. Like, I didn't have the best friends, the nicest friends. And I'm like, I don't understand. I don't. You know, teenage brain. Well, me, it was an adult brain. I was in the adulthood when I discovered this. I already had a daughter. I was in my 20s when I realized this. And I went, wait a minute, hold on. So my mom shows up. Listen to this. My mom shows up with a DVD at my house the next day. And she goes, you know, you gave this to me. I was like, what? She goes, you gave me. And it was a DVD of Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. DVD, not the book, the DVD. And I'm like, what is this? She's like, you gave this to me 2 years ago. And I was like, I did? And she goes, yeah, remember when you were going through this whole spiritual awakening thing and you gave me this, but you didn't care much about it. And I was like, okay. I watched it and I went, oh my God, this is it. I'm on this journey. Fuck that, I'm on this journey. So even though, guys, I was meditating, by the way, I was meditating at least once a week. And now that time has passed, the reason I called this live the Brain Training Live is because I realized that there's steps of healing. There's 3 steps of healing, 3 large steps. So no matter what you're doing right now, if you're healing, if you're doing inner child work, or you're just reading a book, or you tried to meditate, or you're going to see a therapist, or you're taking medication, there's 3 major steps to healing. Okay. The first step is awareness, just knowing that, wait a minute, I don't think I love myself too much. I think I'm a little judgy McJudgerson to myself. I think I got some trauma from my past. I might be triggered a couple of things. So something's going on. Something's up. So what you're doing now, the first step is awareness. Before that, you could be just in depression. If you're just in depression, that's not into the heal. I'm talking about 3 healing steps, okay? So the first step is complete depression. But there is a 4th step that I'm going to show you today, okay? But the first 3 steps that we usually do, and then we get stuck on the 3rd, which is a lot of us right now. So the first step is awareness. Knowing that depression, you're depressed. Are you depressed? Do you have anxiety? Oh my God, I have fucking anxiety. I have anxiety. This is, I don't know. My skin, you know, that like the anxiety feeling when you want to rip your skin off. I've had anxiety attacks. I've had 2 anxiety attacks in my life. And I wanted to, that's why people drink alcohol and do that. Cause you want to fucking rip off your skin. You want to get out of your body. That's anxiety. And I have to tell you guys, depression and anxiety to me is the same. It's both fucked up. Depression, you can't shake it off. You can't. It's deep sadness. Like, it's like every day somebody passed away. Every day you discovered someone passed away. And you're like, like this deep depression. Some people have both. That's what I talked about in my video. Okay. And then you have anxiety where you're like, I can't handle life. And you want to get, like, you literally, it's like your soul wants to just jump out of your body. Okay. Just completely jump out of your body. I cannot deal. I just want to get out of my body. So what's happening is that everybody's like, oh, depression is pain of the past. Anxiety is fear of the future, blah, blah, blah. Very easy to say, right? I can tell you guys that and you're like, yeah, that's nice. I'm going to be honest. 99.9% of you guys already know that. And we all talk about this. I made videos about this. Depression is living in the past. Anxiety is fear of the future. That's nice, but I still feel it. It's like, yeah, this is the problem. But what's the fucking solution? What's the solution, right? So, second step, I'm like, my hair's flying all over. First step, awareness. Oh my God, I have anxiety. Oh my God, I have depression. Okay. Second step, coping. Second step is coping, which is a very good step. Coping is listening to music. Listening to music. Some people take alcohol. There's negative coping, positive coping. Well, I don't want to use those words. Scratch that, erase what I just said. Just ignore what I just said. There's no negative, positive. Everything is needed. There's toxic coping and healthy coping. So coping is music, listening to music, playing instruments. You can drum, going outside in nature, taking in nature, doing tapping. Do you guys know about the tapping solution? Tapping your meridians of your body. Deep breaths, running, yoga, dancing, exercises, dancing, using your senses. What do I hear? What do I feel? What do I smell? There's all sorts of coping. Now, these things are really great. When you coping, the toxic way is alcohol, drugs, journaling. Journaling is coping. Okay. So these coping things are really, really great. They're really good. And we all need them, because if you're with your boss right now and your boss is saying, by the way, all the work you just did, I'm not going to pay attention to that. I'm going to dismiss the work that you just worked really hard on, and I'm going to add on to your work. And this is what you have to do. Oh, and you have to come in early on Monday morning. Anxiety. Oh my God, I have to do my kids or my this, blah, 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 and you get all stressed out. Or if you're in school, if you're in class and you're studying, by the way, you have an exam tomorrow. What? Anxiety. Or something happened in your life and your life is not going to plan. Depression. So what do? You try to cope. Now, I want you guys to know, coping is good, but it's not healing. Okay? But you need it. Like, okay, I'll give you the example. Picture a staircase. Okay? Now, right up here is the healing. Okay? You need to learn the coping to get to the healing. Okay? To get to the platform of how to heal, you need to learn all the coping things. So you need to slowly walk up the stairs of coping. Now you're going to feel that one day it's like there's a storm and you need to take a few steps down, and you're going to feel it's just surviving. Yes and no. Toxic coping, when you're drinking or taking drugs, that's just surviving. Your survival. Okay. When you're doing the toxic coping, it's survival mode. But when you're, getting your nails done, getting your hairs done, listening to music, going out in nature, learning to love your affirmations, I forgot that's super important. Affirmation, you're coping. But it's okay to cope. We have to learn that coping is good. It's on the way to healing. But what happens is we get stuck on the staircase. We get stuck there in the coping. And now we don't want to heal. We're stuck in the, what are you going to do for the healing? So then you're like, okay, what's the healing? Now I want you guys to remember, if you have depression and anxiety, now what I'm about to say is big, okay? If you have depression and anxiety for a long term, not small depression, not like, I'll give you an example. Anxiety attacks, I've had 2 in my life, but I don't live with anxiety. I don't live with it. If you live with anxiety and depression, you will get addicted to it. Your brain unconsciously, not consciously, unconsciously will get addicted to depression and anxiety. 1,000,000%. And guess what happens? It becomes an unconscious habit. So some people will get addicted. Some people will it'll be habitual. Like you'll literally wake up in the morning and you had a great day. You were at the beach yesterday and you were swimming and you were looking at the sky and you were nature walk and you did the tapping and you're feeling great. And then you wake up the next morning and you're like, what the fuck? Why am I sad? I had a great fucking day. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, why do I have anxiety today? Why am I fucking snapping at everyone? Oh, it must be the moon. Must be the weather. Is it Mercury in retrograde? I know you guys know that one. Must be something outside of myself. It must be that everybody else is negative. It must be it's really rainy and drabby. It must be blah, blah, blah outside of myself. Then what do? You stay on the stairway. You stay on it. And then you go coping. What are you going to do to coping? Tony Robbins. You know the Tony Robbins breath? You start doing the Tony Robbins breath. Oh my God, what else are we going to do? Oh my God, maybe it's because I'm an empath and I'm just feeling other people. It's not my energy. It's not my energy. Oh, and then you feel better, right? You feel better knowing that it's not your energy. You're feeling other people's energy. Oh, okay. Are you solving the problem? Are you getting to the top of the healing? You're not. What are you going to do if you're an empath? You're going to cope. You're going to cope. Okay, what do I got to do today? I got to take care of me. I got to take care of me. I'm just going to take care of me. And I'm going to do it. It's not taking on. So you guys have to understand that picture the brain. Okay, this is the brain. And I'm going to show you guys through this wire here in the brain. Is my charged? Okay. You have a neural network in the brain. You have a bunch of these wires in your brain. Okay, a bunch. And even if you're on the healing journey, you're on the healing journey and you're doing it and you're walking up those stairs and you got it. And then one day you're depressed or you're anxious, one of those two. It is not because it's Mercury in retrograde. It is not because the weather is bad. Now, please remember that these all have an effect on us, all of it. Hormones, Mercury, the tide, the full moon. Yes. 1%. Okay? Yes, it will affect you. People, we can smell, we can feel people's energy. Other people, yes. The outside world, if it is raining and it's thunderstorms, 1%. 1 per 100. 1% it will affect you. But what about the 99%? Do you want to blame the 100% on outside? Now, if you choose to blame your feelings 100% on the weather, 100% on hormones, 100% on the energy of others, on the Mercury retrograde, then that's fine. You can choose that, but you were choosing not to heal. You're like, nope, I'm not going to heal this within me. I'm going to blame something outside of myself. That's it. I choose. What are you doing? You're coping. So the question becomes, do you want to cope or do you want to heal? Because healing is possible. Okay? Healing is taking responsibility. Now, understanding that the weather, you have no control over the weather. It's a full moon. By the way, we're made out of water. We're going to be affected by the full moon. The tides, have you ever seen the tide rise? We're going to be affected 1%. But you have to understand that all that you cannot control, you're going to be affected by, but do you want to take responsibility and say, now today I'm going to show you guys, saying all this stuff, I'm going to show you guys where it starts. I'm going to show you guys today how to do it. In this live, I needed to do this. I had meditated. I'm like, whoever needs to hear this, I'm going to show you the 99% of how to heal. If you are sick of coping, if you're sick of coping, you are now going to be teaching yourself how to heal. And it's not an easy journey, because when you're walking up the coping stairs, which is very good, and then Mercury in retrograde, and then you start walking down the stairs again. Oh, I got to do this again. Walk up the stairs. Time of the month. Hormones, female, male, whatever. You're walking up the stairs. Oh my God, some drama happened in your life. You go back down. The weather, the negative people around you, all this stuff. And it's okay. But when to get to that top platform, imagine this beautiful platform, and every day you're on this platform. Do you know what's happening in your brain? Okay. When you get to the top here, what's happening is you're walking up the stairs, and regardless of the weather and the moon and the retrograde and all that, your brain, the neural network in your brain, hold on, I'm going to show you guys. Okay. These are networks in your brain. I'm using this as an example. Okay. So this is like this when you're little. When you're little and you're a baby, you have all these little neural networks in your brain that are all based on different things, and you're just living, right? You're living. You're just walking around and you're like, okay, I'm living, I'm happy, I'm just, you don't know, you're taking everything in. You're learning to walk, you're learning to talk. This is your neural network. And then as you get older, from the age of 0 to 7, you just have these little neural networks in your brain that are pretty healthy. They're pretty, they're all like this. Okay. And then as you get older, your environment, your trauma, your trigger, all these things start happening. You have parents that gave you conditional love. You're only allowed, I can only love you if you're good. If you're acting really bad, are you a bad baby? You're acting really bad. You're crying all the time and you're being upset like a normal human should be, but I can't handle it. So therefore, go into your room. I don't want to talk to you anymore until you behave. So imagine you're getting all these little connections and then they start to break. And these connections now, this is the depression and anxiety cord. And now this normal cord gets detached and gets hooked up to depression. And then it gets hooked up. Hold on. Let me show you guys what happens. Hooked up, depression, anxiety. Super wired, intertwined. And now you have a neural network that's full blown. Now you have the nerves are going through and the paths, and you're on the healing journey, right? You're learning to heal. So when you learn to heal, this is what's happening. You're learning to heal. You're disconnecting the old patterns. You're disconnecting from the old patterns, but they're still attached. So if you're having a great day, okay, or if you're having a great day and the next day you wake up and then you're really sad and you're stuck and you're down and your anxiety is high again and you don't know why because everything's kind of going okay and you're all this stuff, it's still, and you meditate. Oh, you can be meditating. By the way, you can meditate every day, but the neural network is still connected. It's no longer twisted and turned, but it's still connected. This is still connected. So what happens is you wake up and you're like this. So now as an adult, you're like this. You no longer have this nice little brain. Your brain of all the neural synaptic connections are all stuck and they're all rewired and nothing is, it's all crooked in your brain. Here you have this, what are you going to do? And then all of a sudden, one day, oh my God, it's good. Have a great day. I'm having a really great day. But this is not your natural brain state. If you are someone who has depression and anxiety, the next day, think about it. If your cord is always twisted and then one day you pull it straight and you're like, I can do this. The next day it'll go back to twisted. And then when it's twisted, you're like, oh, I gotta cope. I'm going to tell you guys today, and I'm going to even do a meditation for those who want to stay on after. I'm going to do it now. This is the biggest healing moment. Now you could do the coping. You could do all this, okay? You could work on your life. You could do it and then you're going back onto the stairs. But if you want to reach the healing from that specific trigger, there are specific steps that you have to take. Now, these are very hard. They're very hard steps. I'm just letting you know, if you're ready to do them, then you stay on this live. If you're not and you're like, fuck that, I'm just going to cope in my life. I'm not ready for this healing. That's okay too. That's your life journey. Go ahead and cope. And it's okay because some of us are not ready for healing. Some of us are still working on taking those steps. But if you're ready to heal, the number one thing you need to do, okay, to get on the platform of healing, get triggered. Get triggered. Get triggered. Feel the trigger. Own the trigger. Step one. So if you wake up in the morning and you think the room is negative, you're negative. If you think other people are negative, you're negative. Own it. Feel it in your heart. Okay? So you're getting triggered and annoyed? Own it. That is the first step. Because guess what? Guys, you don't even know. It's so freeing. It's so freeing. Because it's hard, right? You get triggered? Okay, I'll give you an example. I walk into a room, there's a bunch of people, and I'm like, wow, everybody is really negative. The vibe is really low here. I don't like this energy. It's affecting me. Nope. 1% is the room. 99% is you. So you say, okay, yeah, the room is very negative. That's the problem, is only 1%. 99% is now you. So you have to feel it and then enjoy it. Enjoy the trigger. Do you know what you do when you get triggered? Go, yay, I'm healing. Yay, I'm healing. I'm triggered. Oh, shit, this is it. Okay, time. Sorry, I'm keep laughing super loud. This is the time to heal. So if you're getting triggered, if you're in a very public environment, maybe not, start writing things down. But if you can, doing that makes me cringe. What if the trigger is specific smell? Feel it. Own it. If you get triggered by a cologne that your ex used to wear that was abusive, smell it, get triggered. Feel it, own it. I don't like this smell. Now, me, trigger, fish, smell of fish. Okay, I'll give you mine. Me, if I smell strong fish, weird, I used to get triggered when I was like 5 years old. Okay, I have a very high sense of smell. So when I get triggered, I'm like, I need to get out. I get extremely triggered just by smells. That's just one. What do? I can't handle this. I have to smell my own smell. Okay? This is it. I have to smell my own smell. I can't deal. I get totally triggered. So what do? Is feel it. That's the step one, is feel it. Okay? Awareness. Remember I said it's not about being perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. Feel the trigger. 1% of the trigger is that person. The other 3, where are you pointing at? 1%. When you blame someone else, 1% is the other people. 99% is yourself. So you blame the room, blame it, blame the full moon, blame your hormones, blame the bad weather, blame everyone else, and then own the other 99% and say, okay, I got it. It's me. Damn it. Shit. What is it? What is in me? Now, if you take time for yourself and you sit for yourself and you're like, okay, now it's me. What do I do? What do I do? What do I feel? I don't know. I don't know. Most of the time we don't know, because what are we going to do? And it's not about healing it, right? I'm telling you guys, it's not about fixing your trigger. It's not. It's not about, sometimes family, not my personal life, is my trigger. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Your family triggers you. It's your family, right? Sometimes you can't fix the problem. You can't fix the problem. You can't change your family. What if it's your sister, your brother, your mom, your dad that triggers you? You can't fix it. So what do? Awareness. That's it. That's all it is saying something in me is triggered. Where is my paper and my pen? I don't have it. What you're going to do is you're going to take a paper and a pen when you have the chance to be alone. Or you know what? Just do it when they're there. Grab your phone. When you get triggered, go to the bathroom. That's it. You walk to the bathroom, go to another room, and write down, I'm triggered by my family. What am I feeling? So the second step to healing is owning your emotion. Are you angry, irritated, overwhelmed, annoyed, triggered? But what is triggered? Okay? Isn't that blaming yourself? No, that's the great part. It's taking responsibility. It's not victim shaming, because you're right now at this moment, you're a victim, right? Do you want to take responsibility? Because if you blame yourself, that means you blame others. And that's not cool. And it's not cool to blame yourself, because sometimes we have no say. We can't be blamed for what happened to us when we were 7. How are you to be blamed for something that happened when you were 7? You were 7. You can't blame yourself for that. But as an adult right now, you can take responsibility for the trigger, because today is a new day. So you're not living. Do you want? So like I said, your ability to respond. Farida, you remember me saying that, right? Taking responsibility means responsibility, ability to respond. You now have the ability to respond. I've said this in quite a few lives. You don't blame the person anymore. You don't blame yourself. You are taking responsibility as an adult. I now give myself the ability to respond. I'm taking ownership of my life. But you know what this means, guys? If you take ownership of your life, that means that you choose the healing path. Now, for those who don't want, for those who refuse, who just jumped on the live right now and still are not ready for the healing, you can go on the coping. By the way, coping is not bad. I know some people, there's some like spiritual leaders and things, they're saying, oh, don't cope. You're just, debilitating yourself if you're coping. I disagree, because I was in depression in my past. And I had coping ways. I did the tapping. I meditated. I did my senses. I went into nature. And I have to say, that was really nice for me. I love the coping. So if you're not ready for healing, fuck it. Don't do the healing. Maybe you'll be ready next year. Okay? Or next month. Or in 2 years. Just stay on the coping wagon, on the coping stairs. It's okay. Coping is necessary. Yes, exactly, Peach Fight. So it's 100% necessary to cope. But if you're ready for the healing and you're sick of being a victim of your brain, and you're like, why does my brain keep going back to anxiety? I'm fucking trying to heal. Why is this going back to anxiety? Why am I going back to depressed? And I want to let you know, The reason I'm telling you guys all this is because I've lived this. I've deeply, deeply woken up every day feeling good, healing, affirmations, writing the affirmations in my mirror, reminding my soul to love myself, or my spirit, higher self, whatever you want to call it. I'm reminding it every day. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the healing journey. I was meditating. I'm trying the finger positions. I'm trying the chakra healings. I'm trying yoga. I tried dancing and singing and every possible healing, tapping every day, tapping. I did all that. And then one day I wake up and I'm sad and I'm low. And then the next day I wake up and I'm low again. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why am I down? Why am I stuck? What's the point of life? Like, what's the point? Why? Like, I get it. We're here to experience blah, blah, blah. But what is this? What? God, you know what? I'm just going to give up on everything. Forget it. I'm just going to, whatever. Like, what's the point? I don't even want the money. I don't fucking care about nothing. I don't want nothing. I just want to be happy. Why am I not happy? Like, you know that feeling? And you're just there for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Do you know what's happening? It's your brain. My brain for years, even though I was on the healing journey, my brain was still connected to depression. This is depression because it's all dirty wire. This is depression, crusty wire. This is a brand new wire. It was connected. It was just connected. Actually, I don't have my phone. My phone is there. But just to give you an example, it's connected. My neural network, no matter how much I tried to work, because what I was doing is I was just coping. So now, who's ready to disconnect these? Wait. When you disconnect them, you can now connect them to a new wire. When you disconnect them, it's hard, by the way. So for those who don't understand this thing, I'm going to give you guys another really cool way, okay? And we're going to do it right now. I'm going to show all of you guys for those who are ready. You're walking down a beautiful path. You know when you're in the forest, have you ever guys walked on a path in the forest? Or let's say not even in the forest. You're walking down the street. You're walking down the street and the street is nice. It's paved, right? The street is paved. At the end of that street, depression, anxiety. On that street, depression, anxiety. You look, you see old houses of people that have abused you, people who have mistreated you. All your traumas are all on this street. But it's beautiful, it's paved. So here you are walking down the street. It's very easy, right? You're walking down because it's paved. And then you look, and in the street, there's this pathway that's full of branches. And like grass is growing. It's not clear. It's very unclear. But at the end of it, you see there's a beach with a sunrise. And you're like, oh my God. And you could hear the waterfalls and you could hear the ocean waves, and you're looking and you're like, and the beautiful, but you could see it through the grass, but you're like, how the hell am I going to get there? There's poison ivy in this thing. There's trees in my way. How the hell do I get there? This is your old pathway. You are so used to walking on it that the street is clear. You're just walking on the street. It's clear. It's paved. But it's a shitty fucking street. That's your brains. That's the neural network in our mind. The brain waves are attached. So scientifically, you can disconnect it. Ow, that hurt. See, there you go. It hurt. You can disconnect this and create a new path. Now, what do you have to do, guys, to create the new path to the beach? And you can hear the waterfalls and people are laughing. You can hear a bunch of really positive people. And then there's the person, you can see people are like, you're like, I want to be there. But it's going to be hard. I have to cut the grass. I have to put on some gloves, clean out the poison ivy, poison oak. I I gotta make my way through the trees. Fuck it. Whoever's on a healing journey decides to jump on. So what you guys are doing now is you're jumping on the path. You're jumping on this new path, right? That's the coping path. The coping path. So what are you doing? You're cutting your grass, you're mowing the lawn, you're cutting the grass. But what happens when there's like a rainstorm, guys? You're in the middle of you can see the beach. And then there's a thunderstorm, rainstorm. So you have to, what are you going to do? You can't walk. Those days are hard. So you're going to sit down, make yourself a little tent and lie down and sit down. Or what if there's a snowstorm? Where I live, we get big snowstorms. And all of a sudden you look, and after the rainstorm, all the bushes came back. And you're like, damn it, I just cleaned this fucking way. What you're doing is creating a new path. So you have to disconnect this neural network. Now, I'm going to show you guys, I have a video. I don't have it with me right now. I'm going to actually can I ask somebody if a new neural network on YouTube. Joe Dispenza. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. This is a scientist. For those who are not familiar, I'm going to show you guys about the neural network. Where is it? Synaptic connections. I don't know. Okay, so you guys are going to Google this, okay? So what I'm saying is not bullshit. I'm just giving you an example, okay? Neural network, synaptic connections, okay? So you guys are going to Google. I was going to YouTube it, but I'm not going to start doing this while I'm on the live with you because I feel it's disrespectful to you guys that I'm like Googling whatever. But you guys can go on YouTube and check this out because there has been studies made that you can literally, you're creating that connection. You can disconnect and reconnect. Like let's say you're connected here because you're all mixed up. You can disconnect this one and reconnect it to new synaptic connections, okay? By doing this, exactly, okay? So somebody, Peach Phony, okay? She just wrote that. Or he, she, or they just wrote that. Yes, Mano, neurons that fire together, wire together. So this is something that Joe Dispenza says over and over. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So what you got to do in this life, okay? So I'm going to show you guys different techniques now of healing. So when you're walking down your new path, okay? Imagine this. You're walking down your new path, and all of a sudden, snowstorm. You know what we usually do, you and I? Like what we do, we had a great day. It's beautiful. You can see the beach. It's right there. The beach is right there. And all of a sudden, your brain's like, no, darling, you're depressed. Remember? This is the natural state. You're usually here. So even though you're trying to get to here and it's like struggling to get to here, no, you're here, darling. You build a snowman. Yes, I love that, Michelle. Okay, so here you are. It's going to go back to this. So the next day you're going to wake up and you're going to be depressed and you're going to be sad and you're like, oh my God, I'm back here again. Change. Switch. Stop. If you physically were walking down your path, let's say for real, in real life, you were walking down this path and you were cutting the lawn and you were mowing and you were doing it. And all of a sudden you go back into an old state. And your brain, your little neural network's like, no, I know anxiety. Anxiety is easy. Depression is easy. Dude, go back on the path. It's cleared for you already. It's like your brain's like, no, dude, go back to the pavement. Go back there. It's easy. You don't have to clean up. And your brain's like, fine. And then you get stuck for days and days and days because you took the old path. And now guess what? You're back on the old path. And then you're looking at this and it's far away now. Your vision is far. This beautiful beach and laughter and beautiful things that are there. They seem so far away now. They're far. because you just jumped on your old path. So to stay on the new path, if it rains, take a break. If it snows, take a break. Don't shame yourself, dude. If you shame yourself when you're sad, you're going back to the old path. If you shame yourself when you're angry, you're going back to the old path. If you shame yourself if you're anxious, you're feeling anxious. Feel anxious. Done. I'm feeling anxiety. Okay, good. Change. You remember what I said the first thing? You're getting triggered? Get triggered. But if you blame the room and blame the moon and blame Mercury and blame your empathic self for everything else, you're going on the old path. Now you're going to start to cope again. You're going back on the coping. I'm going to start to cope. Okay, I'm just going to go back. If you keep going back, it's okay. It's okay if you go back. It's okay if you want to cope. But you have to tell yourself stop physically. Stop. Do you know how many times? So when I was on this path, the reason I'm telling you guys is because this is real. I did this exact technique, okay? And I'm not the only one. For those who know Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, scientists, they teach you how to rewire your brain. And the reason I'm teaching you guys is because it worked for me, and I'm telling you guys in a more Tanya way, because these two are very, very well-known scientists, and they're very scientific in the way they talk. And I can't. Groundhog Day. Yes, exactly. Stephanie, like the movie The Groundhog Day, you keep repeating, going back to the same path until you learn your lesson and own your shit. So you actually have to sit with yourself and say, change, stop. Change. So let's say you're on the new path and you're going good. It's good. Oh my God, the beach is right there. And then you jump no, stop. So like for me, whatever your name is, Angie or Peach, I don't think your name, it could be your name, Nikki or whatever. You say, stop, Tanya. Do not go down this path. Stop. I'm on the healing path. My brain knows depression. My brain has been depressed, suicide, all this stuff. Stop. It's like I put a stop sign, a red light. Stop. I'm going to go on to the new path. I'm going to take that path. How now? Do you just say stop? Guys, I'm going to do this with you guys. Okay. I'm going to show you something that's going to change your life right now. So whoever, I know some people logged off, but whoever stays on this live, watch what's about to happen. I did it this morning even, and it worked so crazy. So we're not going to meditate right away. For those who want to stick around for the meditation, you're welcome. But this is what you're going to do. It's a glitch in the matrix. Go back to your original state, okay? So right now, I'm going to take it down, calm down, and I'm going to, it's not meditation. We're not doing meditation, but I'm going to show you guys something with some music. And you're going to do this for yourself, okay? Just music, not meditation. Okay? Take 2 seconds for yourself, okay? With your eyes open, sit comfortably. Just sit comfortably. If you have depression, when you're sitting in silence, because we often are taught to keep busy. Who's told you that? Keep busy. Just keep busy. Go. Keep busy. Just do it. If you're keeping busy, you're avoiding. You're coping. Keeping busy is coping. If you're doing anything but what you're doing now, you're coping. Your brain right now will tell you keep busy because it doesn't want to face the now. But you know how all those people say, bring yourself back to the now. Find your center. Do any of you guys know what that really means? Regardless, I'm going to show you right now how to bring yourself back to the now. Oh, people are asking, babe, side note, moderator. A couple of people are asking to moderate. I didn't see anything, but so bring yourself back. This is huge. Okay. People, find your center yourself. Da da da. Nobody really knows, right? Nobody knows what that means. Well, this is what we're going to do, okay? Sit with yourself right now. 2 seconds. Not meditating, okay? Close your eyes. It's not meditation. It's just centering yourself. Centering yourself and meditation are two different things. Very similar, two different things. Now, depression, you're going to start thinking about your parents and your traumas, okay? Thinking about the past, you're going to start thinking about all the bad things that happened to you. Did you get a divorce? Did you lose your kids? Did you lose your parents? Did you anything that's bad? Did you lose your animal, your pet? There's sadness, sadness, sadness. If you're anxious, oh my God, I have so much to do tomorrow. I have to pay my bills. I didn't pay my bills. I didn't even finish my laundry. My dishes, my house is a mess, and I have so much to do on my kids and my dad, right? Trauma loop. Well said. Trauma loop of the past, you're going to get sad and low, no energy. And if you're both, that's what's going to happen. Some people are both. Some people go into the past and then go into the future and then go into the past and and that's even worse because you're now feeling double all these emotions, right? So this is what you're going to do if you have a minute right now. If you don't have a minute, I'm going to upload. You're welcome to follow my YouTube page that's connected to Tanya Beauty Coach. My YouTube page, I have all for free, every exercise that I'm going to show you. They say, bring yourself back to the now. And you're like, that's great. How do I do it? Close your eyes. Put your hands up, okay? Either like this, any place where you're comfortable, or even if you're at a table right now, you can put your hands up on the table. Lean your phone if you can. Both hands, okay? What you're going to do is focus on your face, okay? Your face. Close your eyes and feel your face. Everything on your face. Is your jaw clenched? Relax it. You'll notice that you're clenched. If you have a lot of anxiety, you'll clench your jaw. If you have a lot of depression, you're clenching your neck. Your neck might be elevated, your shoulders elevated. So you're going to actually feel every single part of your face, your skin. If this is hard for you, take a fan, okay? Grab a fan, if you can find a fan in your house. I don't know if it's winter where you are, but if you can, and have the fan moving. Okay? And as the fan moves, or you can go outside and do this with a breeze. And as soon as the fan hits your face, you're going to feel like your little hairs on your face, it's going to you're going to feel it. So what you're doing is every time you feel your face, you're in the now. Because you're not thinking about tomorrow. You're not thinking about yesterday. And you can do this in the bathroom. If you're stressed and you're on the toilet, you close your eyes and feel your face. Okay? It's not a grounding technique. It's a redirecting. So if you notice yourself in an old pattern, go stop, change, stop. Walk away from wherever you are. If you notice yourself, you own it. Remember, do not blame others. That's 1% of what you're feeling. 1% has to do with your exterior circumstances. 1% has to do with the weather, has to do with people. It's 1%. The 99% is you. All the rest is you. You have to own the trigger. This is only if you're ready to heal. If you still want to cope, that's fine. If you're ready to heal, own it. Own your trigger. And then you're going to say stop, change, switch, whatever word that, you might find your own word of like redirect. Oh my God, you're going to find whatever word. Okay. And you're going to sit with yourself for just a minute. And the reason I ask you to put your hands up is because some people can't feel their face. They can feel it, but they can't focus on, like if you don't have a fan wherever you are and you can't feel the breeze on your face, then you're stuck. What's going to happen is you're going to close your eyes and do this. Okay, that's it. You say, stop, change, I'm triggered, stop. You're going to lift your hands up. I'm going to tell you scientifically what's happening right now. By the way, this is not just stupid crap, okay? Scientifically, in your brain, I'll tell you what's happening. When you do this, now lift your hands up. You know how the heat, you feel all the tingling in your hands? You're going to put your hands down, close your eyes, focus on all the little tingles in your hand. Now, people who have anxiety, I highly suggest to use the face technique, declenching your jaw. Your tongue is probably stuck to your palate right now. If you have anxiety, your tongue is like right up there. Just relax it. Relax everything on your tongue. Feel that. If you have depression, try to focus on your hands. Depression or both, if you're comfortable. Because anxiety, oftentimes people who have anxiety, they feel it in their hands, so it's not great. So all you got to do is feel the tingles in your hands and focus on all the little tingles in your hands. And then you're going to start focusing on specific parts in your body. First the face, then the hands. Those are the two main things. And then you're going to focus on your knee. If you don't feel anything on your knee, focus on your head. You're going to feel your hair, if you have hair. You're going to feel your hair shifting. You're going to feel a breeze on your face. Now, when you're doing this, what you're doing to your brain is that you are already on a healing path. This is not coping anymore. What you're doing is you're training. Like I said, we all have these neural networks that are like this, and you have these synaptic connections that completely get all twisted as you get older because of trauma and all that stuff. And you're trying to redirect your brain. Now, do you know scientifically, feeling your heartbeat is good, but a lot of people have a hard time with that. When you have anxiety, your heart is not something that you want to focus on. That's why I say superficial, skin, hands, arms, something superficial, because when you start focusing on your heart is very good for when you have depression. But when you have anxiety, your heart's like, so it's always good to focus on your feet. You can feel your feet tingling. So every time you say, stop, stop. So remember these steps. Stop, okay, is the second step. Sorry, remember these steps. Awareness. Number 1, awareness. Own your triggers. 1% is to them, is to everything else. 99% is yours. That is healing. So the 3 steps is awareness, coping, healing. Awareness, coping, healing. If you want to heal, you need to learn to redirect. So healing comes with redirecting. You own your triggers, own them. 1% everywhere, 99% me. After this, when you notice that you owned your trigger, you say stop. Say it to yourself, because what's happening now is your thing is going, your little neural network there that I keep talking, your connection is trying to go back to the addictive patterns, the old emotional patterns, because like I said before, walking on a pavement is easy. Going down a new path with bushes and branches is hard. But you want at the end of that path, that's what you want. You don't want this old. Yeah, it might be nice. It's easy. But what happens is, by the way, if you teach yourself scientifically, see, there you go. See, did you guys hear the horn? Stop. Switch. That's what you could do. You could imagine a horn, stop in your path. And then you close your eyes for a quick second, go to the bathroom, go somewhere in the room, somewhere you can be by yourself. 3 minutes, guys. That's all you need. 3 minutes. And you sit there, okay? Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Feel your face. Do you know what you're doing right now? You're training your brain that every time it's triggered. Now listen to this, guys. You're training your brain that every time it's triggered to calm down. You're training your brain that every time you have an emotion due to something, either the past or the future, to bring it back to the now. The more you do this, if you do this for 1 week and expect to change, you're coping. If you do this over and over and over, do you know what happens? Guys, this is insane. So right now, What I'm doing in my life right now is I don't even have to do it anymore, guys. Do you know how I'm teaching you this? I did this last year, 2 years ago. Right now, if I get triggered, and I get triggered, it is normal to get triggered. If you guys were here on my live while I was talking about my suicide attempts and my past and my abuse, I'm going to get triggered. The trigger went from like that to so as soon as I'm triggered, my brain is so used to calming down because I've used these techniques over and over and over and over. Because what I chose is I choose happiness. I want happiness. You know what the most was? Peace. I want love in my life and peace. That was my two main things. My two biggest things in my life was peace and happiness. I want to wake up every day and feel peace and happiness. And listen, you can get off your meds. I got off my meds, but if you are on your medication, I strongly suggest that you do this for a long time before even considering it and talk to your therapist, your psychologist, because I know a lot of people are on here who are coaches and influencers and they say, fuck therapists. Fuck. I'm not. I'm sorry that I am totally for therapists and psychologists. I had a psychologist that saved my life, like saved my life. She gave me these amazing tools and hypnotherapy, and she was doing all this stuff. So for me, therapy, psychology, it's like if you're doing it, do it. If you need the medication right now, take it. If you need it, take it. Don't just be like, I'm off it. Listen, guys, you can't just get off medication and just, that's it. You can't do that. It has to be, and psychologists right now, I know a lot of your therapists and psychologists are pro healing. They want a lot of them, not all of them. Some of them want money, but a lot of them want you to heal. That's the goal. I remember being in high school, I was like, I want to be a psychologist because you want people to feel better. So I just want to let you know that when you start this, I still feel heavy on my heart after this technique. So if you're feeling heavy, it doesn't, by the way, okay, this is very important. Whoever needs to hear this. If you cut your arm right now, slice deep, cut your arm. And then you put a Band-Aid and go, I don't know why, it still hurts. It's weird, right? Shouldn't I be healed? I put a Band-Aid. And then you're like, oh no, wait, hold on. You have to put polysporin, like you have to put cream aloe. Oh, okay, and water and soap. Oh, okay, water, soap, aloe. How come it still hurts? I don't understand. Why is it still in pain? Guys, why is it still in pain? Time. Patience, which is, I'm going to do a lot more videos on, don't worry guys. Time and patience. You need to be patient with yourself. That is the number one thing I'm telling you guys. If you're on this journey to healing, you need to give yourself time and patience, just like a physical wound. You have been hurt and had trauma in your past. You cannot expect to just put a little Band-Aid and some aloe and it's healed. The trauma is deep. So we're all impatient. We're creatures of impatience. Did you guys know naturally we're impatient? Have you ever seen a baby? Hold on. This was really funny. My nephew, he's 1 year old. He just turned 1. When he was a baby, through this whole year, he was trying to put something in the hole, you know, the ball in the hole in the little game thing. And he's like, ah, like 5 seconds. I was like, dude, you just like, and this is a baby. He was trying to put the little square in the triangle and it wasn't fitting. And immediately he lost. Now, some people are born with patience. Very rarely, but some people are born with patience. But most, even babies, are not. So imagine us as adults. We want it now. I want to put that little triangle and done. Okay? So I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. I'm going to upload this live to YouTube, and this live will be accessible to anybody. And I'm going to do more. I have a lot of videos on how to retrain your mind on my YouTube. If you guys want to know where it is, Tanya Beauty Coach. It's on my here. And we're actually going to do a meditation right now. And I'm going to tape it. I'm going to record it. And I'm going to upload it. I'm going to upload it to YouTube. So we're all going to work together and healing this. Because yes, you're right. I'm bringing it up on my live. He's like, man, do we give you content so you can use content? But I want you guys to know that I know that therapy isn't free and doing stuff isn't free and it sucks. I wish, like, from I was young, there's some therapy wherever you live, like even in Canada where healthcare, like, listen, I'm in a place where healthcare is, everything's included and therapy is still not included in healthcare. And you have to pay so much money, and it's like the cheapest, like $75 an hour for the, it's so much that this is my deal that I made with the universe, that I'm going to do as much as I can to give you guys free content, because everybody deserves healing. Okay. And some people don't believe in healing. That's okay too. If you think that, and you are all perfect as you are. I know a lot of you guys don't believe, I didn't believe it when people told me, oh, you're perfect as you are. No, I'm not. You are. You just don't know it yet. The only thing that you have to do every day is what I told you about. Feel your skin, but we're going to do it in this meditation too. Okay. All right, guys, let's do this. Is this the one? We're really going to go deep. I'm going to start this in a second.